trashy diner coffee drinker.
Oh, I love trashy diner coffee.
Fancy? No.
See, I'm the opposite.
Trashy? Yeah.
Okay,
Give
so
me
where's
some
your
Waffle
favorite
House.
diner? Waffle House?
Oh, there's a place in New Philly, Ohio, called The Daily Grind, and it's just the best.
I love it.
Look at Seed's ready to pick the card.
You're gonna pick the card.
Oh, I'm picking the card.
You're picking the card.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling, I think, one.
Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Butterfly Babes.
Smile.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Okay, should I
This
read
is
that?
episode 3. No, we can just leave it in. It's fine.
Alright. Today, I'm Taya.
I'm Jamie, and we have a special guest.
Hi.
Ashley Deubel's here. In my
Alright.
phone, I have you as Ashley Dubes with a bunch of corn emojis.
Yes.
So yeah, no, it's just a bunch of corn and stars.
I have you as a playing card, the Joker emoji, and a star.
I love that we have like emojis.
It's the Joker card, I think is what it is,
I
for
like
a
it.
tarot card.
I like it.
And also because you're a Joker.
Let's be real. Pick one.
Ooh, okay.
So we're starting the episode off with picking a card. And we have my dog Starseed here.
She's a special guest today too.
We'll let her be out.
I gotta feel it, huh?
Do you want to hold the deck? Or do you just want to pick it?
What are the rules?
There are no rules.
Oh, love that for me. I'm going, yeah.
Good one.
Ooh, yeah, it is. I believe
Trust
that.
the timing. Trust the wave you came on. Time is not running out.
I was gonna say, do you have the whole book?
A whole ass book. It's really pretty. Look.
Or real.
Or real.
That's Jamie.
I know. I always get so mad when people are like, time is real. I'm like,
It's just an illusion.
Yeah.
It's a made up thing.
It is pretty.
it's so pretty. Okay.
I mean, time is real when you need to be somewhere on time. I couldn't believe she was here on time,
can't believe
actually.
I was here, like, literally right on time.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled up at 9:59.
Early
She's
even.
like, I'll be here right at 10, and she was.
I was.
This is new.
You know what? Like, was the trick this morning? I wrote
Waking up
everything
early.
down last night.
Oh, yes, that you
Yeah.
had to do today?
Yeah, but, like, I didn't just, like, write it down, like, this is what I have to do. Like, I wrote it down, like, 6:30 a.m. I wake up. 7 a.m. I start my breakfast. Like, usually that would stress me out because I don't like structure, but it was helpful.
But maybe
today.
you need it. But maybe-
we were learning today. It was a learning experience. All right. So often those who feel. What did you do?
I showed the card.
She's just gonna make me laugh this whole pod.
Don't you think they want to see it?
Yeah, I
Alright,
mean,
so-
can they see it?
Zoom in. I'm not,
That's on y'all.
I'm not crawling over there. I'm gonna pay extra for that.
Ooh, okay, so I'm just gonna like speed read. So often those who feel like they're here on fuck. I'm like making up words now. So often those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that time is running out and they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came on. To trust the season you're in. Time is not running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late. How can you trust the timing of your life a little more?
Well, I'm sick, so.
Okay.
I don't trust the timing.
Well, I'm sick. So honestly, I'm just mad.
So I'm supposed to compete this weekend, and I got sick, so I don't know if I'll be able to now. So I don't know what the universe is trying to do with this timing.
Well, how can you trust it? What can you do to trust it?
I don't know, honestly. Just try to get better. Just trying to rest.
You're trying to rest so you can compete this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just trying to organize my fucking time.
Yeah.
because I also don't believe in time. So trying to remember that it is real. You know?
I think that's helpful.
What about you, Ashley?
I trust the timing.
Yeah, you are good at that.
I feel like a better way to trust the timing is to just, be in the present and not get so far ahead of yourself to where you're making things mean what they don't mean, Like, oh, I'm sick, I can't compete this weekend. Or potentially can't compete this weekend. How many things are you making that mean in your head? You know what I'm saying?
Damn. If there's anything that you're good at, it's like framing things in a very matter-of-fact, practical, but yet like helpful way. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like, especially as you get older, it's easy to feel like you need to rush and do all these things or accomplish these things, especially if you're like a performance-based person. Like you put a lot of worth in your performance, or what you do, your work. But I think, just taking a step back from that too. And I don't know, man. I think it's just a practice. Anytime you get in your head overthinking that something's not working out for you, that timing isn't right, just bringing it back, kind of talking yourself down from the ledge.
Yeah, because if you focus too on everything that's not going right, you're just gonna keep finding things that aren't right. Like they say, like whatever you look for, you'll find.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking for reasons that time is running out, your time will run out. But if you're like,
because you're spending all of your time.
And then that's a waste of time.
I was gonna say, you're spending all of your time worried that it's running out, and you're not being present in the time that you have. You're not already here.
Mm-hmm.
Say time one more fucking time. That's how it's starting to feel. Like, not only is time starting to lose its meaning, so is the word.
Have you always been so good at being present?
No, I don't. I mean, and I'm not always good at it either. Like, let that be known. I think we're very fortunate, and we have very cool hobbies that force us into the present. So it's we get practice regularly. Like being on the mats in any way, shape, or form. For us, like doing hair, talking with people, like you're in that moment, you're focusing on what you're doing, you're having these conversations with people. So I think we naturally just get a lot of practice, which is cool. Like I'm a pretty introspective person. Like I live up here quite a bit, so.
She has a Pisces moon.
Tell it to them like they're 5. Tell it to all of us like we're 5.
So I feel like when you have the moon sign in Pisces rules everything but the third dimension. So you have access in your subconscious mind to like, not just here in the present moment because you are human, but then because the moon rules your subconscious, your inward self has access to like everything, to infinity. And that's why Pisces is so dreamy and like a little disassociated and a little like quirky and imaginative and creative, because they do have this like, I don't know, I think it's a superpower where you just have this like plug where you can just kind of do like this, plug it in, and then you can just go wild in here. And I think that's
a blessing and a curse,
so
let me tell you.
I think it's a really cool one too, and it's a water sign, so that is like you're really comfortable in your emotional self. Like you're more comfortable going inward than you are like expressing your emotions outward.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that for you. I think Pisces moon is one of my favorite placements. Do you know where your moon is?
I would say, what's your moon?
I'm pretty sure you're a Libra moon.
I don't know. I can check it.
Yeah, check. Too much.
But it has my birth chart on it though.
Where are you at? Do have a Libra moon, and so Libra moon is very detached from their emotions.
Really? You think I'm detached from my emotions?
Well, I would say not even detached, but it's almost like you don't allow yourself to feel emotions, especially with your Aries stellium that you have in there. It's more so like, I don't have time for emotions. I have to do this. This needs to be done. These are my goals, and my goals are going to be more important than like sitting around in my feels all day.
I mean, yeah, you have to get things done.
I would say that, I feel like.
You have to. Like, I think what we were talking about, time is good, but I also think time is like you need to have a certain date, like setting goals and like getting things done in a certain amount of time to like being disciplined, if that makes sense.
You're good at time management. Both of you guys are really good at time
I'm good at time management.
Drew would heavily disagree with you. I think.
I think I am. I'm like my dad. My mom and my brother are not, but I am pretty good.
I'm like you. I have to like, if there are things that I want to make sure I get done, it's got to be on a list. That way there's no free thinking involved. It's just, you know, one after the next. And I love to cross it off of the list. So.
There's something really satisfying about it. I'm like, I kind of love this. Like, I want to go
Get
buy
the
a
little
planner. And
you
like,
don't have a planner?
I mean, I have one, but
You don't use it.
it's been like sitting in my drawer for
She's
like
it's
6
from
weeks.
it's from
I'm
2021.
gonna go buy a planner while I have one.
Yeah.
Just a different one. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I could
To get
just use
excited,
it.
get that dopamine drip for a second, and then put it in the drawer with the other one.
No, well, I got like a huge one because I was gonna like, I was over ambitious one day. I think I want just like a little one that I can like
That you
keep
can
in
keep
my
with you.
bag
Yeah, in
and
your
like
bag.
cross things off.
Yeah.
It was so nice this morning.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it feels
What the
good.
heck?
It's like free dopamine.
For real.
Like, thank you.
I know.
I needed that.
Well, and too, I've been like, I haven't been drunk or high in like 2 weeks, and I think that like at first I was like, my brain feels like it's on fire. I don't know what to do with all of this energy, but I feel like I have the capacity to organize it, and feeling it was a little bit overwhelming at first, but I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like I have the capacity to like process instead of just disassociating and be like, I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah, whatever's meant for me will be.
Yeah.
But it's like, you gotta make things be for you a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure.
It has to be a balance, I think. Yeah, because if I don't have, like, if there are things I need to get done, if I don't have it on a list to do, like, I will just go about my day doing whatever I want to do, which is cool too. Like, it's nice. It's really nice to be able to have that balance. Like, I'm just stoned at home with my plants and my dog. I'm like, this is all right. This is all right.
I love that more than anything.
This
Like,
doesn't suck.
honestly, I love just sitting on my couch with all of my animals and my coffee, getting so stoned, chilling, sitting up here in my brain. Like, I'm so comfortable, like, being out here.
I mean, if you find the benefit in it though, and see how good you feel, and you're saying you like being in your head, which to me, like, transfers to like, oh, I like this person that I'm becoming. I can sit with this person.
I was just so in the habit of like waking up every day and again like sitting on my couch, getting high, doing my meditations, reading my cards, and then like that kind of set the tone for my day. Where like if I wake up and I'm more structured and I can still do my things, like have my coffee and like read my books, not taking myself out of the present moment right away in my day is helping me stay present the rest of the day.
Lord,
Sorry.
Whoa. No, we're gonna have a seizure over
for
here.
real.
I know everybody hates that.
I call her on it every time I do my retinas. Fuck's sake.
I got a text.
Instantly derailed.
Sorry.
Just so you know.
Everybody hates it.
Okay, do you feel like if you read your cards in the morning, like you mentioned setting the tone, do you feel like that's something you keep in mind like all day, good, bad, or indifferent? Like, do you find yourself looking for that? Because it's like we were saying earlier, it's, you know, you always find the evidence for the story that you're trying to create, or the narrative. So it's like, if it's good, do you find that your day is better? Or if it's like maybe not what you would have loved or a little too real, do you feel like that? Like,
It's so weird because I keep like comparing myself to like how things should be, how I've done things in the past, and instead of allowing myself to change and like grow and
so
be
hard,
new.
though. Yeah.
I think I've always been like looking, seeking outside of myself, and I think I have like so many tabs open in my brain too, where like I'll read my cards in the morning and then I'm like, it could trigger either one of the tabs. But if it's good, then I'm like on this like false high, or if it's bad, then I'm like triggered and like in a woe is me mentality. So I think I need to take a break on doing it every single day and just finding a way to have a different outlet, because to set the tone, I'm just so used to being triggered.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, it just like influences the day, or has the potential to.
Yeah.
What if you do it like at night?
That's what I was thinking.
And that's what I was just about to say. I love that idea of like just coming home and like turning off at nighttime when I am home and like with my significant other and my dogs, my plants, and like everything, and it's nighttime and it's chill time instead of just being like in the morning just disassociating right away.
Yeah. Because then you're in your day. You have, like, the day is up to you. Every opportunity that you have is an opportunity to show up and be the person that you want to be, especially if you have a roadmap to what that looks like. You know what I mean? If you're like, I want to be secure in who I am, I want to be confident, I want to be kind, I want to be loving to myself and loving to others. And it's like, I feel like if you have a few characteristics or like, even values, like knowing what you value too is like a good guiding tool. When I was reading that The Body Keeps a Score book, great book, right? Took me 2 fucking years to get through, because it's great. It's all about trauma. It's very heavy lifting, but like, you know, how you relate to circumstances is by, or understanding even like circumstances in the book is by like relating your own stories or your own experiences to it. And it's like, okay, is this how I'm supposed to feel about something? Because yes, this thing took place, or yes, I experienced this, but like, I didn't ever feel a victim to it. Like, do I need to victimize every single thing that's expected to be traumatic? Like, if it wasn't for me, and it's like, no, you don't. You know what I mean?
And to know that you have a choice to be like, no, I don't want to. Right? I want to choose different. I want to have different.
Yeah.
And I think it's empowering. It can be like scary, but it's also like really empowering to be like, no.
Well, yeah, you have an active choice.
Everybody has a story at the end of the day. Like,
right.
Everybody has their own like thing they're going through.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Do you guys have inner children?
I have inner voices in this head. I don't know which ones they are. But I was gonna say, like, even as like hairdressers, I feel like we know better than a lot of people that like everybody has shit. Everybody has shit they've been through, that they're going through. Like,
everybody has something going on, you know. The world doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna make something happen, you have to make it happen. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, see.
she's fine.
I know.
It's nice outside. Sometimes it is as simple as like, it is what you make it. That Rogan and Abigail Schreier podcast, highly recommend.
I have it downloaded for the flight.
I'll listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to listen to it.
I loved it because it just, I felt like I agreed with so much of, well, we always love to be right? So I felt like, yep, thank you. It reminded me of the conversation that we had with, about therapy and stuff, and then you started seeing your acupuncture. So I was like, what if therapy is literally keeping you stuck?
I feel like it does. I feel like therapy is so, like, it can keep you.
It has a time and place.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There are some incredible therapists.
Yes.
And
it depends on the
That's
practice
not what I'm saying.
too. Like the person performing the therapy, like their way of doing it. But I don't know, even just like EMDR and like all those like really, like you said, like heavy lifting, the hard work, right? It's like why does it have to be so hard? It doesn't. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. And I don't know if it's because of just like the nature of therapy, or if it's like big pharma, or like what it is.
I think it's a little bit of all of it, for sure. It all kind of coincides together. I'm like, if you're just regularly talking about all the things that have happened to you in your life regularly, like,
you're just like reliving the
literally
past.
I'm like, we're just reinforcing this negative feedback loop. I'm like, that sounds fucking exhausting. Like, thank you to my brain that repressed all of that.
Yeah, for real.
Shout out to that part.
I totally agree. Like, I don't know, sometimes it's okay to live in La La Land, especially if it does allow you to have healthier ways of thinking and a healthier lifestyle. Like, I would much rather be like in La La Land and be happy and like, I love my present moment and like make up things and just be in my imaginary little head all day instead of being like triggered all day. I don't know, that's just me though. that's what I love so much about my acupuncturist is she's kind of like y'all, where she's like, it doesn't matter about what happened. It just matters that it moves. The energy itself just needs to move, and it doesn't matter what's in the energy, it just needs to move. And that's what acupuncture does, is it allows the energy to move. I feel more dense in my body, but I feel lighter in spirit. It's pretty cool.
It's a cool way to put it.
I just like what Dr. Joe Dispenza says. Instead of
Big Joe.
focusing on the past, we could put our energy into creating our future.
Taya just came back from the dead to drop some knowledge.
Yeah, that's what I have to say.
I have that book at my house. I need to read it. The Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
I need to read that one.
So good.
I'm just
for
like-
becoming supernatural. Well, we're magnetic, so what we focus on is what we're gonna attract. If you're so focused on the past and like what happens to you, you're gonna keep attracting the same type of circumstances or like the same reality. But
Same
if
type of
you're
people.
if you're focused on more positive things and like what you want in the future, what you are, that's what you're gonna attract, you know? So it's just like,
I feel like you naturally like move towards it.
I mean, we are magnetic, you know, so it's just like, you can really manifest whatever you want. You could become whatever you want. It's just up to you if you want to believe in it or not.
Yeah,
for sure.
when you choose what you want to believe, like that's the lens that you start kind of seeing life through. Like I think understanding that suffering in our lives will happen on its own. You know what I mean? We'll lose loved ones, we'll lose pets, we'll, you know, whatever the thing is like real suffering in your life will happen on its own. And I don't think it's worth it to waste our time manufacturing it ourselves. You know what I mean? Like being in your own head and creating scenarios, creating problems, ruminating on these like thoughts and things that are no good, you know?
Yep, so true. And also like being in the present moment, you can see where you have those patterns and like, again, not to victimize yourself and keep yourself stuck, but to look at it from a neutral lens and be like, oh, here's my pattern. I've been stuck in this cycle. And then choosing to be like,
I don't want that for me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
then
all
it's
good.
just way more empowering. And then you start being magnetic to things that help you climb up the vibrational scale. It's very strange to see how we really are magnetic and how we really do manifest everything in our day to day. And you're wasting time if you are just not living your life to the fullest. Honestly, we're not on earth for a very long time, and that's something that I'm coming to realize. Like, am I running out of time? No. Do I think I'm old? No. But I don't want to be wasteful with this life that I do have. The universe thought that I was special enough. The universe thought that we were all special enough to like be on this earth, to have our unique life experience. So like we should honor the universe and live our life with freedom and happiness and health and being the best that we can. So then we aren't wasting time and we don't feel like we're wasting time.
I think it's just living with intention. Like, even when it's a weird random day and you're a little stoned and you're watering your plants, you know, it's like, it's very intentional still. It's very like thoughtful, still enjoying it, you know, parts of your day. I think too, like being intentional with people, you get to enjoy them so much more. You get to enjoy the conversations with them so much more. Okay, here's a stoner thought for you. We're speaking of time and presence, and Drew and I have talked about this before. Okay, have you ever thought about when, okay, unless you are physically with somebody, you only have them in your memory? Like, yes, I hope Drew is alive and well. I hope my grandma is alive and well, but I can't, like, they're just in my memory currently. Like, I can't touch them. They're not here with me physically. It really makes me and helps me appreciate any conversations and time that I get with people a little bit more, because I'm like, I only have you in my memory. And it's almost like you get to not like meet someone new every single time, obviously, but it's like,
Yeah, no,
I
that's
only
so
hold
true.
you there.
And that makes you
these are stoner
Like,
thoughts,
I don't know
dude.
what I'm thinking about.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
these are
what?
stoner thoughts. It helps me too, though, where I actually enjoy that thought the most is when, like, I have a dream, because I have the most insane vivid dreams, but like if
Pisces
is
moon.
that what that is?
Yeah.
I'm like, is it the edibles or is it my moon or whatever?
Edibles or my moon.
Or whatever.
whatever it is. visits you in a dream that's like past, or like, you know, my dogs that have passed have visited me in dreams plenty of times, and it's like it still activates like the same parts of your brain as if you were getting that experience. It's like you ever had a nightmare and you wake up and you're like fucking anxious and didn't actually sleep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, ooh, there's still time elsewhere in our brain.
Because our physical time in the 3D is different than time out here. So I think when we dream, we are able to access a lot of this out here, and energy can't be created or destroyed. So we do have experiences with people or things or loved ones, or even like our greatest fears can be in our dreams too. So I think like the dream state, we just we get to float around in the universe and all the dimensions. But going back to what you were saying, like
questions I ask, I'm like, okay, have you ever all?
So 2 things. I feel like there are certain people that I have strong connections with that I do feel, and it's very strange. Like, it's not like a physical feeling, but it's like a spiritual feeling, and it's only really happened to me with like a couple different people, but it's like, it's very strange how like I know I'm in their brain, I'm in their body, and I don't know if it's like the empathic parts of me, but I have had those experiences before. But then also like going back to then like being intentional, that makes you, if we are just memories of people, it makes me feel like that makes me want to be nicer to people. If I'm just a memory, like I want to,
like, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, how do you want to be remembered? I want people to remember me by being nice and how I made them feel.
Well, it's that like, I think it's Maya Angelou quote, and I'm going to butcher it, but it's essentially along the lines of like, people won't remember, you know, what you did for them or what you said to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel. I always thought that was cool. I was like, fuck, that's so true. That's like, that's a you know, an imprint on your heart forever. Yeah.
And just being more mindful with the connections that we have with humans. It's so easy to be in our own ego and operate from our own ego and like go day to day, like not even giving a shit. But when you really do like think about it, you don't know how you made someone feel. Like if I'm like in a shitty mood and I walk into a gas station and I'm just like in a rush, in a hurry, like not present, going from like one
so
thing
concerned
to another.
About the next thing that you gotta get to.
Yeah, like what if I made someone feel sad, or like what if like they were having a bad day? You know, it's inconsiderate to think that the world revolves around us when we're all connected.
How are you feeling?
I know.
I'm good. I'm just here living.
You have a smile on your face.
I'm good. I'm not feeling good today, so thank you guys for carrying the pod.
I feel bad that you're not feeling good.
Don't feel bad. I'm feeling better. My energy is really low, so, you know.
Well, that's what it has to be. Your body's trying to recover, and it's trying to literally heal itself.
Sometimes I just overwork my body too. Like I added in like 4 more training sessions a week on top of all my jiu-jitsu, so I think I was just like overworking, doing too much. I just need to like relax.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just kind of
it's hard for me to relax though, because I get anxiety. I'm like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Like I'm not getting better. But my mom's like, just enjoy it now, you know, just enjoy the time that you get, the downtime you have and stuff like that.
Yeah, your body needs it.
The good thing is this tournament, even if I miss it, it's not like Worlds or a big tournament.
Yeah.
So it's like one I really can sit out, and I think I would only have like 1 or 2 matches anyways, which is not a big deal for me. My main concern is being
for her.
Yeah.
1 or 2, and I'm like anxious as all fucking get up. Like fuck.
But my main concern is being good for the ADCC at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So
that's like the 30th.
Yeah, so I think I still have like 3 or 4 weeks.
Is that here?
No, it's in Vegas.
Okay, it is in Vegas. For some reason I thought it was here, and then I was on Smooth Comp last night, and then I saw it was in Vegas, and I was like, I had all of that backwards.
Are you gonna go to the trials?
I know, are you competing soon?
Okay, these are 2 very different questions.
let's dive more away from like the
woo-woo. Call it woo-woo.
Okay, enough with that. Let's talk about Ashley. So
oh god.
Ashley trains, she's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. We'll end it soon.
Just fucking with you.
But since you train, what is something that if you're a girl trying to train, what's advice you'd give to a girl that wants to train or start jiu-jitsu?
Just start.
Yeah,
I think that's it. I think I know the day that I was just even going in for a tour of the lab, and it was at the old location, I sat in my car for like 10 minutes. Like, we all get scared, we all get anxious. Like, I still have to take an anxiety pee before I even train. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just get it out.
I have to pee all the time.
But
Still
yeah,
now? Still now?
Yeah, it's every time. Just like,
I know sometimes I get butterfly just training, like before comp trainings, or if we do 4-man
Yeah.
groups, I
Yeah.
have tough people, I still get
yes,
those
I still
butterflies.
get so nervous too.
I'm always like, I'm scared.
Yeah, she always looks at me and she goes, I'm scared. I'm like, me too. What the fuck is that? why does that show up?
It's just
Yeah, I think it's honestly like, just start. Do your due diligence as best as you can on finding a gym that you think is like a suitable environment for you, and start training there. If it doesn't feel like a suitable environment for you, don't be afraid to train, or like change and try somewhere else, because environments are all very different. You know what I mean? So if you think that you still might like jiu-jitsu, then don't be, if that, like I said, if that environment doesn't necessarily suit you, don't be afraid to try somewhere else.
Right. I feel like the training environment is everything. It's it's what's gonna like make or break you as like
agree.
an athlete, you know?
Yeah,
Do you feel the same thing with like salons too?
absolutely. I feel like environment in general is everything.
Right.
Like,
So how did you go from working in a salon to renting, and how did that look for you?
so Drew and I have been here for 14 years somehow, from Ohio. But I was at a salon up in Anthem for 4 years, and honestly, the team that I worked with there was amazing. The people were amazing, but the owner she was really awful. Like, I've repressed a lot of it, honestly, but she just was not a nice or good or honest person. So it was time to leave that environment. So me and one other girl from there, we decided to come down to Happy Valley, because you have to be outside of the no compete clause. So I had to be 5-mile radius, even though those don't stand up really in the court of law out here, since it's a right to work state. Yeah, so her and I decided to leave, and we started a suite together. And then
You have a suite mate?
I did for the first year. And then she decided that she wanted to work back up at a salon and do booth rental. And I was enjoying being in a suite, because again, I like creating my own environment, and having say over the decor. The decor was fucking hideous in Anthem too. It was like hots and colds, and like, it was so silver with travertine floors. I was like, what the fuck and bright red chairs. I was like, what are we doing? But it was a Paul Mitchell focused salon when I first started there, which is what I was looking for. And there was like only 2 or 3 of them out here at the time. So that's where I wanted to go, because I wanted to get into education with Paul Mitchell, and then you had to be at a focus salon to do that. Yeah, so then I just decided to stay in a salon suite because I enjoyed it. I liked having freedom. That is one of my main values in life.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've accomplished that pretty well, which I'm super grateful for. But yeah, I love it. I love having my little suite. All of my clients that get to come in there. It's like, the art of conversation, I think, is a real thing. And I feel like we do podcasts, long form conversation every day.
Multiple times a day.
Me just naturally asking you questions. I'm like, oh yeah?
I know. That's so fun though. I love our job so much. How do you protect your energy?
I just, not my circus, not my monkey. Sometimes it's what they have going on isn't personal, towards me. I think knowing that, and I think just gradually over time too, clientele figures itself out. You know what I mean? When the energy is matched, they stick around. I feel yes, they're looking for great hair, but I think they're looking for a relationship too,
For sure.
more
Yeah.
so than anything else. And I don't take that lightly either. you know, something happens when people sit in that chair. It's like open heart, open chest, like everything.
Yeah.
And like I said, and it's not personal. Like, I love that they trust me with that. Like, that's honestly an honor to me. When people are in that type of space too, it's very emotionally driven. So everything feels very offensive and they're on the defense regularly. But, and it is just like a misery loves company sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know that you would actually know where I stand. I don't fucking really care, but like stand politically based off who's in my chair, because I'm just gonna agree with you there. I'm not getting into that.
It's so interesting how people can like just assume, right? And it's like, no, I'm just here. This is your time. You're paying me.
Yeah.
I'm here to just.
If I feel that I have maybe some sound logic or good advice, and it feels like they're receptive to it, you know, then, which a lot of times they are, and honestly, back and forth, you know, I've had a lot of my clients for the 14 years that I've been out here, so it's like, I was like 20, you know, like they've seen me through some shit too, you know, that hasn't been necessarily pretty, so it goes both ways, really.
Truly, it really is a relationship. Yeah, for sure.
I'm super grateful for.
I love it. I love doing hair, and I think because you're right too, like our banter back and forth, like we're just so used to those deep, heartfelt, long conversations.
We have them for like 2 hours. And you know what I think is really beautiful is most of my clients don't sit on their phones like while they're in my chair. I think I have maybe 2, and they're like, you know, younger kids are just like fucking Snapchatting, you know, their friends while they're
I love when they're like in the bowl.
Yeah,
I'm
literally.
Like, are you sending that to people?
Yeah. I know, like you just don't give a fuck. I'm like, damn, back in my day, we took about 7 minutes to get that fucking, that angle just right.
The MySpace angle.
For real.
Oh my gosh.
For real.
How old were you when you got into doing hair?
I started at the Paul Mitchell Academy in Ohio when I was 17. So it was like right after I graduated high school. Graduated in June, started in August. Rest is history.
That's so sick.
I know, it's like crazy. I'm like not far from it being 2 fucking decades that I've been doing hair.
Isn't it wild?
Sickening almost, really.
I know.
Like that's when I'm like, time's not real, dude. Sorry.
No,
like,
I know.
it is, but it isn't. I don't know, man.
Oh my gosh. I was sitting with the calculator the other day, like doing the math with like the current year and then my birth year, and I'm like, I feel like something's missing.
Well, it was so funny because the other night, Monday, I don't know who was in charge of the radio station, mind you, God fucking age yourself. Yeah, I don't know who was in charge of the fucking the radio station at the gym, but somebody had like Taking Back Sunday radio on like something, and I was just like, yes.
Oh, when Tim was there.
Yes, and I was like, oh, we created.
Yeah.
I was like, I have like a decade of age on all of y'all. I know all y'all want to like bring back the scene and the emo and this and that, but like, we fucking created it for you. I'm in there living my glory days out on the mats.
I'm like so grateful
Yes.
to like, especially to like growing up in the Midwest and like also going through the scene.
Special.
What a special gift that like a lot of people don't like. I don't know. Living in Texas, like their scene is just so weak. I'm like, y'all don't even know.
Yeah. I feel that about here for sure, but I also like haven't tried to get into a local, you know what I mean?
And I haven't even been to a show yet out here. Bayside is going to be my first show out here.
I'll probably babysit you for that one.
No, it's like, come.
I know, I'm like, and then I'm going to probably drag her to Knocked Loose.
Yes, 100%.
Like, this is where I learned to throw some fucking elbows.
I know. It's like
where them windmill kicks come from.
The violence. It's like, I don't know, it's just so comforting.
It really is.
Wow, look at, and then, I mean, we're old now. I don't think I'd really get in the pit now, but I'm like.
You say that, and then you start feeling it, and like, I look at Drew, and I'm like, on. Like, sorry, I don't know.
I love it.
This is just who I am.
I love it. It comes over you, huh? I don't even know how I would act. That's the thing. I'm like, Bayside, I'm usually up front. The last Bayside concert I actually went to, I got kicked out. Because, like,
Where's the surprise?
They started playing, and I was like, yeah, I, like, run up to the front, and I'm like, woo, like, jumping up and down, like, literally, so excited.
I can't.
singing along, like so happy. I'm so happy. I left my salon Christmas party early. I'm like still in my outfit.
Oh my
I'm
God,
just like
walking in looking like a disco ball.
so pumped. Bayside's my favorite band of all time. That was not the energy. Like nobody. Like some girl like tried to like fight me. I got kicked out. They said
Why did she try to fight you?
because I was being too aggressive. But I'm like, I'm at a show.
Do you feel like we're maybe not getting the whole story?
No, it's so true. I mean, I don't like literally.
Why were you being aggressive?
Yeah, I was like,
Or were
how
you
was
being
this aggressive?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like you're just jumping up and down, and like I'm singing again, like unaware of my surroundings, and I'm happy singing along, like jumping. Like I wasn't necessarily like aggressive, like hurting people, but just very excited that Bayside was playing.
Yeah.
And
I say aggressive, I say excited.
And it just wasn't the mood. Everybody was just kind of like chilling there watching the show. And
that's so weird to me.
yeah, see? That's what I thought too. And I felt so uncomfortable. And I was like, I felt so much shame in that moment. I was like, am I doing something wrong? What happened?
So how did you get kicked out?
Oh, well, like
So
me and
you
this girl
gotcha.
got into it. Yeah, and
Did you fight her?
no, a verbal altercation.
Oh.
But, and then I did throw my beer at someone, and then I got
really?
kicked out.
I used to always get kicked out for underage drinking. Because we would put, so you'd always get these giant X's on your hands. So they knew that you were underage, but we would put
Like a
chapstick.
3 song.
Literally, you put like chapstick or Vaseline on your hands, and then they put them on, and then you just go to the bathroom, hit it with a little bit more chapstick, and then you can wash them right off. So I would regularly do that, obviously. And then we'd obviously have plenty of friends, first of all, pre-gaming, like drinking, like,
Like
Steel
sneaking stuff
reserves.
in, like...
Oh my god, PBR.
yeah. And you'd have people just bring you drinks to the bathroom or whatever.
I miss, I do. Looking back on those days, it was fun. It's all those shows, they're just like in random ass, like bars,
Oh, yeah, houses.
churches,
There's always like
houses.
3 random locations called the church. It's never usually a church. But
There
it's
was
called
one
the
we
church.
had, it was a church.
I didn't say, but sometimes it's a church.
Did you ever belong to a crew?
No, but there are plenty of crews in and around our area.
I wouldn't say I did, but I definitely hung out with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say we hung out with all of them because I had friends that were dating guys that were in crews and stuff like that, but
What is a crew?
It's like hardcore gang.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, are we allowed to say?
I don't know.
I
Is
know.
that weird? I'm like, I mean, they still rock, like,
I don't think they're gonna be listening to Butterfly Babes podcast.
true. I'm like, I never know. Not like I think it would matter, but like,
Why were we like 14 hanging out with these guys?
yeah, I don't know. I love seeing all the memes though that just like call you out on your bullshit. And you're just like,
Yes.
oh yeah,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like fucking 14, 15 years old at a fucking drug house
I know, I saw
with the
that the other
stickiest
day.
floors.
Yes, oh, gross.
Waking up the morning after, just a rager, and it's just like sleeping in the clothes from the night before.
A couple
like your
mornings after,
jeans,
you're like, wait a
yeah,
second,
the
it's been 2
sticky
days.
Floor. Oh god, dude, so ridiculous. And mine and my cousin's like first show that we went to by ourselves was, I think I was in 8th grade and she was in 7th, but we went to like the Nintendo Fusion tour. And it was like My Chemical Romance, who was working their merch table. Like they weren't anybody, which is just really funny to me. And then Lost Prophets, Anne Berlin, and then Story of the Year headlined it.
Oh my
I know,
gosh,
I'm like
what
7th
a
and 8th grade.
show.
It was such a good show. It was such a good show.
I can't believe
too.
Armor for Sleep is playing with Bayside.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, and Finch.
I was gonna say, there's a
have to
lot of like those bands kind of just coming back around, showing face again. I really wish Half Heart was gonna be on
I know.
this side of I mean, they'll be at a fest, I think, in LA, but I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go to the East Coast to see them.
That would be so
I'm
sick.
like, I kinda wanna
feel
go to
you have
Boston
to.
or Detroit.
Yeah, Boston
Like,
would be so sick to like see
sheesh.
them in Boston.
I know.
And then
Right,
the
yeah,
East
Boston
Coast
would
and
be the
Midwest.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time to be alive, Taya.
I know, I'm like, I'm not from that era.
No.
Sounds fun though. Sounds fun.
It was super fun. We're such bad kids. And I'm like, dude.
Little rats.
Dude.
You grew up fast.
Yeah. It was fun.
But it was a good escape though, and although like somebody from the outside looking in could be like, that's really toxic, like it's such a community. Obviously like the crews are like one thing, but like when you go to a show and somebody falls down in the mosh pit, everybody stops to pick them up.
Yeah.
No one's
if you lose something, somebody grabs it and just holds it up here, like your phone, your shoe, whatever.
It is such a community, and like
people get trampled in mosh pits now and die.
Yeah.
At raves.
Fucking Travis Scott.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, people aren't nice like that anymore. Now they'll just
why
walk
are they
on
moshing at Travis Scott?
I think it was just a large.
They do that at concerts, like rap concerts and stuff, like just big pits and stuff. But
it just, I don't like it when it's like a bunch of push pits and it's like
pushing, punching.
Yeah, and
people are nice though. If you fall, you'll get stomped on unless you get up.
Yeah,
it's just so wild. But like the shows that we would go to, they weren't big like that. They'd be like very small.
Quite literally, like the size of this whole area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
those are the funnest ones.
They're the best.
They're most intimate.
I was just about to say they're so intimate. That's why I have such a hard time going to any of these other shows, because it's like they're in these big venues with like insane like production. Like that's why I was like, as much as I've seen Knocked Loose a million times, I feel like they're one of the only bands that comes around out here, but I don't want to go see a whole ass like production and there just be so many people. Like, I'm good. But dude, one of the best concerts I will say that I've been to was out here, surprisingly, and it was Say Anything did their 10-year, they're getting ready to do their 20-year now, so this was like 10 years ago, which is insane. But their 10-year album release of Is a Real Boy, and it was a 2-nighter, and it was so fucking good because it was at Crescent, so it was so fucking intimate.
Wait, did they play with Upline Trio?
No,
Or maybe because
no,
I
they
saw
were with
Say Anything with Trio.
They were with this like they weren't local, but like smaller band called Backwards Dancer, who's actually really good too.
Ooh,
I really like them.
fun.
But it was such a oh my god, we went both nights.
Well, speaking of Upline Trail, last time they were playing like $100 for a ticket.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is fucking retarded.
I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
Like the last time I saw them was with Bayside at the Metro in Chicago, and like even that was too big.
Yeah.
Like I like the Metro, but again, the production, the upstairs, downstairs, the like, it's just. I don't know. I like the small, intimate. That's why I'm excited that I've never been to the Van Buren, but I heard it's
nice.
Like
it's not huge, but it's like it's bigger. You have more space, but the way that they have it set up, it still feels pretty intimate.
I need to get back to the Midwest. I haven't been back in years.
No, I leave next Wednesday.
I know. You always go up there.
Every time you
post
always
pictures.
traveling or doing something fun.
It's fun. I enjoy it. I told you, freedom plus value. So I feel very,
Taya,
very
what kind
fortunate.
of music and concerts do you like?
Hip hop, rap
From the
concerts.
Bay.
I went to a lot of concerts
that's
too.
That's a whole different culture out there. I feel like they have a really cool like music culture.
For sure. We have Bay rap music. Yeah. I had a fun time. I used to go to a lot of concerts, a lot of shows too. I've seen a lot of my favorite rappers too before they like blew up. So like a lot of like small intimate shows too, where like tickets were like $20.
That's the best.
Stuff like that.
It makes you so sad that doesn't like that's not a thing anymore.
I know. And then when I moved out here too, it was just a little different. And there is some like concerts I want to go to, but a lot of people don't listen to that kind of music and stuff. I guess now my boyfriend lives here, we can go, but
we'll take you to a hardcore show if we go to a rap show with Taya.
Yeah, maybe.
She's like, I'm all set.
I would like to go see Knocked Loose, so I've never seen them.
Yeah, they've always put on a really good show. That was the first sober concert that I went to, and that was when I actually got into a fight with somebody. Completed my first blast double on some big bitch.
Really? Yeah. Why? Like, tell the story.
Okay, so when you're at shows, like...
Wait, you really double-legged her?
Yes, I did. Drew can confirm. He pulled me off of this fucking cow. So, stupid bitch. Anyway.
I love it.
So, when, like, there's the pit, right? And there's then kind of like the O-ring around it where like people are kind of standing, but you're still like involved in it. You know what I mean? Like you still have to kind of frame up and like protect yourself a little bit, be aware. You can kind of shove people. It's a fun place to be. Like you don't have to be fully committed.
Yeah.
So I was like, there was three girls in front of me, and then I was obviously right behind them, but they were like, here's the first, ring of people. They were the second ring, and then I was again behind them. The two girls over here are like kind of spazzing, just having fun, just fucking, they were Jamieing. Like they were just fucking enjoying themselves, And this bitch was literally like, she had to have been 6 foot something, but she was like a big girl. And so I was just observing, and I could just see her looking and getting annoyed and looking and getting annoyed. And like they got pushed into her. And they apologized, and she just kind of gave them a dirty look, and that annoyed me. And it like kind of happened again. And so I just weaseled myself in between the two girls and this chick, because I just felt protective over them for whatever reason. I'm like, we look after our own out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. And so when they pushed into me, I like kind of pushed into her, and apologized, gauged the temperature, was not nice. She like glared at me, and I was like, heard. So when they pushed into me again, I fucking framed up on her and shoved her, like, and my frame is like right in her floating rib with our height differences. And she stopped. I didn't even know this was something people do. She stopped, and she like looked me up and down and shoved me, and I was like, oh, okay. And so shout out to
Jiu-jitsu. That was an open invitation.
Yeah, it was very
yes.
open. I was like, shout out Jiu-jitsu and striking for having a good strong base. And I just like came back in and just fucking blast doubled her, and she went down, and Drew's pulling me up, and I'm yelling at her.
Did you get some punches in?
No, because Drew was like on top of me already, like
probably instantly, like, oh shit.
He saw, I think the second she like looked me up and down and decided to shove me, he was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm like, this is what she's like sober. If I was drunk, I probably would have been fucking Jamieing somewhere else, like not even there.
I can see it, and
I was so fucking
obsessed.
annoyed. I was like, bro, fuck this bitch. Like, these girls are literally just trying to have a good time, and they've apologized every time they've touched you. It's good.
Well, Ashley, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thanks,
Kind of fun to sit on the floor.
I know, I kind of like this.
I feel
little,
so
like,
comfy down here.
It's like a little powwow. We just need like a bonfire and some s'mores.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
You're
metaphorical though.
Anyways.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with episode 4.
Episode 4.
Dang, you guys are flying through
I know.
already.
We're doing the thing. We're actual podcasters,
I know.
Dang.